Abusia for in himself and a parliament for den etnase na wa mabe na wa be hu se niema moment man pass and say business bi o moment mind and discuss here ene no meet mind atnase na in himself business bi o why $250 million na I was say omyeden omo discuss one na omo passes a yesika no such as business or what the business be and according to a minority for I see no me micro minority for no or my den omo kase enya de ameden on better na sa business we ni atna wa kuti say eh mahame be so nya right now information which from Parliament Street I who say no NPP MP no NDC MP at the say no Maba Parliament. No NPP MP, no NDC MP, so my Maba Parliament. Right now, you be so Kesi Hammond, O.Ursulla, Becca, Henry Cote, one of my lose almost it no. Yes, so I'm because information I just say, and him go say I to no. And ya don't baby because we are winning on last visit to Parliament. This the 4 years a man said means the Nanya coupon heading. You home more bona a more conscious in one mobile. Yes, I will tell my about Parliament because we know my last Parliament. I is heading. Yes, but the same member. Yeah, hearing him quite some member. Go Kesi Hammond, O.Ursulla, BBN. Coming in breaking news about
budget ahead of appropriation that will take care of the first quarter of 2025 before John Mahama's finance minister will present his own budget next year. So the House also within this meeting is not expected to sit beyond the 24th, which is next week Tuesday, end of 7 January, to swear in the new parliament. So Faustina, that is the state of play. No MPs so far have arrived. Not on the NPP side, not on the NDC side. We understand the NDC MPs have been in a caucus meeting and that hasn't yet concluded to try and flesh out the details in terms of what exactly their strategy is going to be when this meeting gets underway. It's not going to be a long meeting, between 5 and 6 days or even less. The House will transact the major business they intend to, and then they will take a break. So, Faustina, that is the state of play right now. As you can see in your shots, the technical aspects of the chamber is being fixed so that the MPs can come in and do business. And this sitting is happening at the Akroma International Conference Center, the Grand Arena, because the main chamber of parliament is still undergoing renovation.
Santi, for bringing us that update. Just running you through some of the key things we should expect from the House today. He says that the $250 million World Bank facility loan, we would be bringing some sort of finality to that today. The free SHS bill is also on the table. We know that the two persons that the president had recommended to serve on the Supreme Court, at the Supreme Court rather, would also have to be decided today. We know that a mini budget, if you recall our conversation with Setekpe, there ought to be a mini budget that this parliament ought to approve that would oversee the running of the first quarter of the new government, and that is also on the table. So let me bring in Inusa Fuseni at this time, because this is the last time we'll be seeing some faces in parliament. The likes of K.T. Hammond, we're looking forward to his presence because he has lost his seat. The likes of O.Ursulla, who has also lost her seat. A lot of MPs that are in this 8th parliament. This will be the last time we'll be seeing them before this parliament officially ends its duty. Your thoughts?
Thank you very much for having me to share my thoughts on the happenings in the just ended elections, and particularly the number of members of parliament who have lost their seats by reason of the election. And the fact that the parliament will be losing a lot of experienced hands in the 9th parliament. But that is democracy for us. Many people will lose their seats if the constituencies do not vote them into office. And we don't appoint the people, we elect them. And so Parliament will have to look at the next Parliament and see which people to put in place who are really, ready and willing to work to build their capacity to be able to step in for these people, to replace them. But clearly, serious senior people have lost their seats, and that will affect Parliament at some extent.
Let's look ahead. The ninth Parliament, how they would conduct business. Having over 185 seats. They already have the numbers to conduct business, to form a quorum. And I'm just wondering, how would this Parliament operate, especially looking at the mini minority in the House? You've been in the House before. Just give me your thoughts on what we should expect in the ninth Parliament.
So if a ninth Parliament are parliaments that we have never experienced before. I mean, even in the days of Rawlings, we did not experience that Parliament, except the first Parliament where the NPP boycotted the parliamentary election. And so in that case, we cannot say, well, the Parliament was constituted through a competitive election. But this is the first time after post-1992, or from post-1996, that we are having a Parliament with an overwhelming majority. Means that the President and Parliament are will largely be for the NDC. And the President will be able to effect some drastic and dramatic changes in policy, in constitution, in enacting laws for this country. I just hope that the President will take opportunity to reset the country on a very important pedestal and ensure that what he will do with Parliament will have a lasting effect in bringing prosperity and equality of opportunity to the people of Ghana, as promised by the Constitution. Now, this also poses a very important challenge to the Speaker. The majority, because of the super majority in Parliament, two-thirds majority. Now, the MPP or the minority can walk out at any time, but that will not affect the conduct of business in the House, because the quorum will always be met for the purposes of taking decisions. And so you are going to see a Speaker who will have to go to some lengths in accommodating the minority, because the minority view will be important for policy formulation, for law making, and for deliberation. I mean, you need to have the input of the minority in taking a decision. So you will have to have a Speaker who is willing to listen to the minority and not treat their numbers with contempt, and also get the majority to understand that because we are in a democratic setting, majority can have its way, but minority must have its say on matters of national importance.
We're expecting some new faces in the ninth Parliament, the likes of Jerry Ahmed, Shaib, the likes
from diverse backgrounds. And so when matters come before Parliament, the debate will be enriched by the experiences of these people. So it can only be good for our democracy.
Thank you, Newz Afuseni, his former MP, Tamale Central, for your time here on Newsdesk. Now, let's take you back to our earlier story. We told you that John Dramani Mahama, President-elect, would be leaving this 8th Parliament, would be coming back to the House today. It will be an opportunity for us to engage them, their final days in Parliament before the 8th Parliament officially enters duty and gives way for the 9th Parliament. We are looking forward to key individuals passing through, like Hammond, who has lost his seat. My colleague Santin would be on the ground to interview them, have a conversation with them. But right here in the studio, we're just looking at what we should expect. Newz Afuseni is my guest. We also have joining me for the conversation, Executive Director for Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Draman. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time here on Newsdesk. Let me start with Dr. Rashid Draman, because we've been going through this conversation about the happenings in Parliament. Today, as the House reconvenes, what should we expect?
It's going to be very difficult to tell because both sides are still holding themselves up as majority. I mean, we've heard that over the past couple of days after the election outcome. So unless maybe some backroom negotiations, some political conversations have taken place. We are going to see both the NDC and the NPP staking a claim that they are majority. And if that should happen, then we are back to where we were a couple of weeks ago. And I could see a number of scenarios playing out. Either we'll see another walkout, in which case maybe the speaker would have to adjourn the House again, or we would see perhaps one side conceding and saying, look, Ghanaians have decided, we know where the chips have fallen now. Come January 7, we know who is majority and who is minority. And because of that, perhaps we will let sleeping dogs lie. But I mean, that again would beg the question about the legal implications of that. And perhaps maybe my senior brother, the lawyer, might be able to explain this much better. But again, for me, over the past couple of months, what I've been saying, and I still say that today, is that, I mean, this matter couldn't have been resolved, I mean, with legal tools alone. There is the need for a lot of conversation, and that, I believe, did not happen, because that's why we are seeing, up to this point, both sides taking the claim that they are majority. So if I was to offer any advice, I would say perhaps one side might have to concede.
Ebusianfoneti for winning information about to and so I was emitti for Pemasam Tisani to say no breaking is about me and say MPP be anyone married on Messi Parliament because any Samanu consenya don't made on Messi Parliament the flag bell for any Samanyukuna is where we need to say John Draman Mama Catchom say Niquan so made on co parliament sitting Ketia and so Babonti Becachom say Niquan so made on co parliament co parliament on Mokoya but and a Becca the Parliament of Ghana speak up and Barbie down on or she say and 16th of December no enom the omo and the embra no metnas na business be on be ammonia as Marco and Marco di Christmas from now so as we speak right now it will be any parliament will be any parliament or including on my Malusom sitting on Ketiamo as low so Opiano or parliament or bien was the parliament or as you say no this is more me papa Inti sa business no more can be $250 million na amoko a World Bank e so amoko akwagye he say IMF deal bi so ababontia he say no ebeka John Dramani mama every go negotiate omo na say na be bit my den bitim ababontia no meet me dey aboa Ghana for because na say say omo je no dem akofo dey I mean say omo iden omo jiffy pants so me dem be this kind right now no say my PP ban say any Samanyuko any super majority and NPP Samanyuko no a micro minority a caucus. Now you say senya a year Samanyuko no etima anya to third of a parliament no say NPP Samanyuko no kampo a boycott to kampo a idea and Samanyuko no with these numbers no bitima a business across into say near 5 Samanyuko no be more by parliament by my parliament business because I had a coso formation quiet and grand just say yes African markets enye the micro minority that crumple bill almost on for NPP no be a Patrick B and then some for number monum so made more pen kwakwya nyungwa se kese pa de ama na say no omo lusom sitene do man ba that means the parliament no omo form to enka so be enka kwen so be till 4 years back and sana said be a omo constituency no I so me no mo ba no my masa vote am mapa power beam na some information which just say me sure some men masa power beam because constituency for na am combine say any Samanyuko na no made omo no go am can sim bit my that charge our comment bit me so I share more down for so any be higher for 100 Akroma